Hey, hey, hey.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor, I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lady, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Yes. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. This is a special live Diddy update, but we're going to get into some hot topics before we get into the Diddy of it all because it is a last minute live, and I know some of you may not have gotten your notifications. So we are going to talk about some other hot topics before we give you an update in regards to Diddy, because not only in this new lawsuit is his mother, Janice Combs, implicated. Also, there is more information on Diddy seeking bail and new evidence that he wants to provide that will allow prosecutors and the judges to think that he would be a viable candidate to be out here in the streets again. Okay. We're going to get into that. But first, we just have some stories that I wanted to get into. I know a lot of people are still reacting to the presidential election this week. I did do a special episode that I listened back to myself, because I do listen back to some of my stuff just to kind of improve myself in a lot of different ways. And I felt solace from my own recap. So if you missed it, it is a podcast exclusive. If you want to hear my thoughts on the presidential election and the election overall, be sure to hear that on the Kempire podcast. While you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. 5-star rating, okay? Because it means something on podcasts, okay? And if you're not subscribing, not following us there, what are you doing? Today's live stream is brought to you by our friends over at Uncommon Goods. The holiday season is right around the corner, guys. I know it doesn't feel like it, but it is. Do not let the holidays sneak up on you and you have not gotten a gift. And you don't want to get a gift that everybody named Mom is getting for somebody else. You don't want the same gift that you got for your family member someone else got for them. And you can bypass all that by working with Uncommon Goods. So I'm excited to bring them here. Spark something uncommon this holiday with the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that it's exactly what I wanted feeling. They scour the globe for original, handmade, absolutely remarkable things. Somehow they know exactly the perfect gift for every single person you know. As you already know, I got my little something, a gift for myself, but there's all kinds of things that are available there. Let me see if I can bring it in front of the camera. There we go. It's a globe. It lights up. Look, it lights up too. Look, and it has different light settings. Okay. All right. But yes, but I know what you want. You want a discount, of course. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/Kempire. That's uncommongoods.com/Kempire for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. More information will be available in the description. Okay. All right. Speaking a little bit about the election. So the foolery begins. Look, the foolery begins because a Trump ally, according to the New York Post, threatened to put New York AG Letitia James, quote, Fat A, I can't say the word here, in prison, says he doesn't speak for president-elect. So a staunch ally of President-elect Donald Trump, who threatened to put the New York Attorney General Letitia James, Fat A, in prison, clarified Friday that his words did not reflect the once and future commander-in-chief's thoughts. Probably because they probably sent him a message, please do not say stuff like this. We are not even in the office yet. In a statement posted on X, he says, as I've made crystal clear, I do not speak for President Trump or anyone else, said Mike Davis, who heads up the conservative judicial advocacy group Article 3 Project. Like tens of millions of other private citizens, I am outraged by the lawfare and weaponization of our system of justice, including the New York Attorney General's political crusade, all of the witch hunt have to end so our republic can survive and prosper under the leadership of President Trump. I just say, let's all pray for Letitia James, because people like this are putting bad juju in the air. She's just doing her job and following the law, unlike some people. Okay? So, in other news, Lord. Bad Baby. You know, we were just talking about Bad Baby. You remember Bad Baby, who became like a rapper, but she was first on Dr. Phil? You see my transition? Dr. Phil, who's trash, who spoke at the MAGA rally? Yes. We talked about him the other day. Well, Bad Baby just announced that she has cancer. According to TMZ, Bad Baby issued a cryptic message that has many of her fans concerned, implying that she may have cancer. Baddie, a.k.a. Danielle Bregoli, hopped on Instagram Thursday and posted, I'm sorry, my cancer medicine made me lose weight. I'm slowly gaining it back, so stop running with the worst narratives. So, of course, it's a mystery what all that means, but wait. But Baddie recently revealed her dramatic weight loss in photos she posted to her social media accounts. Many of the supporters expressed concern and support online after she brought up cancer. And I'll show you the picture, guys. Let me pull up a picture so you guys can see. This is why it takes me forever to load stuff on here. All right, let me just show you of the recent picture that people saw of her, and they were saying that they were concerned. And her alluding that she might have cancer. Okay, there we go. Mind you, she also recently had a baby. And I think people automatically jump to people are using Ozempic when they lose weight, not remembering Chadwick Boseman. You know, that story we were just talking about a couple of weeks ago in regards to people are having silent health issues. So we shouldn't immediately have these comments about, oh, you're Ozempic, you're doing this or you're doing that. Okay. All right. So they continue in regards to this story. They said one person wrote, Bad Baby's strength shines through as she shares her diagnosis, wishing her resilience and support on this journey. Another stated, what the F, OMG, doesn't she have an infant child? Praying for Bad Baby, may she fully recover. A third said, F cancer, in a post before adding, we are on, make me pray for you. And then in an update from TMZ, they said a family source confirms to TMZ that Bad Baby does have cancer. She's currently under the care of a doctor. So we're definitely sending prayers to her. I mean, literally, she just had a baby. So that is quite concerning. All right. All right. So the other news that came out today was the Grammy nominations. Did you guys see this? Okay. So the Grammy nominations came out, and Beyonce is heading up the Grammy nominations. Okay. Beyonce is heading up the Grammy nominations with, I think, like 11 nominations. But people are pointing out Nicki Minaj wasn't nominated. They're pointing out Ariana Grande, really, she was nominated, but she was, you know, her album pretty much was snubbed for some of the bigger awards. Okay. So let me just kind of go through some of the nominations. As I said before, Beyonce's nominated for quite a few awards within the country music category, but also some of the big ones as well. All right. So USA Today says, not the most awarded artist in Grammy history needs a coronation, but Beyonce might get one anyway. The superstar multi-hyphenate, already lauded with 32 Grammys, leads the nominations for the 67th Annual Grammy Awards with 11 for her countrified Cowboy Carter album, notably being recognized for Album of the Year, because that's the award that Beyonce has wanted for a very long time. Record of the Year and Song of the Year. And the song is Texas Hold'em. Following Beyonce on the nomination list, all members of the seven Nod Clubs are Charlie XCX, Billie Eilish, Kendrick Lamar, and Post Malone. They're trailed by a trio of artists scoring 6 nominations each: Taylor Swift and newcomers to the Grammy world, Sabrina Carpenter and Chappelle Roan. This year's award show will take place February 2nd at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles and will air on CBS and Paramount Plus. Let me just take a look at some of the nominations, guys, if you're just joining us. We're just giving you some hot topics before we get into your Diddy update. Here's the thing in regards to Beyonce getting nominated. So she's nominated in a few different categories, but the major ones, she's nominated in the Americana and the country categories. I don't think she's going to win them. To be honest with you, I don't believe she's going to win them. And I don't know if she should win them for Cowboy Carter and specifically Texas Hold'em. I like the song. I think Cowboy Carter is a good album. Do I think it's worth album of the year? No, that should have went to Renaissance. That should have went to Lemonade, to be honest with you. But now if they give it to her, it feels like they're just doing like, here you go. You've been complaining this entire time. Because you remember Jay-Z went up there, was it last year? And basically got an award and decided to use that moment to advocate for her getting album of the year. They're not going to give it. I mean, I could see them giving her album of the year this year, but I just feel like this is not the album that deserves album of the year. She had multiple albums that deserved album of the year before. I don't want it for a Cowboy Carter. Texas Hold'em is not record of the year. And I'm a Beyonce fan, not Stan. I'm a Beyonce fan. Okay? But I don't think this album deserves record of the year. Maybe in the country categories, I could see her winning, but not for record of the year. Let me tell you what the record of the year nominations are. Okay? Okay, record of the year, Now and Then, The Beatles. Okay. Texas Hold'em, Beyonce. Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter. That's why Jam Dog. Sorry. 360 by Charlie XCX. Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. Record of the year. He's probably going to win that. Or Espresso. Good Luck Babe, Chappelle Roan. Fortnite, Taylor Swift featuring Post Malone. That's a good song, but I don't know if that's record of the year. Okay. Album of the year, Beyonce's Cowboy Carter. Andre 3000. Not Andre 3000 got nominated for album of the year for his flute album. Sorry. Short and Sweet, Sabrina Carpenter. She got some hits. Brat, Charlie XCX. And a bunch of other people. Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift, Chappelle Roan. All nominated for album of the year. Beyonce's not going to get that either. I don't think she's going to get album of the year. She does. I feel like they're just going to give it to her because she's been complaining about it. Because she's been complaining about it. Not the diss track getting record of the year nomination. Do you think he'll win it? I think he might win it. Song of the year. Oh, my boy Shabuzi, my fellow tourist, Shabuzi. But you know what? If Shabuzi gets Song of the Year, he might as well say thank you to Beyonce. And he has been. Anytime he wins something or he's celebrated, Shabuzi always celebrates Beyonce because you have to be, I mean, he has good music. And he's been doing this a long time. But getting involved with Cowboy Carter put a bigger spotlight on him, which I think helped. Okay? His song, A Bar Song, is nominated for Song of the Year. Birds of a Feather is by Billie Eilish is nominated. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars is nominated. Fortnite by Taylor Swift is nominated. Chappelle Roan is nominated again. Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us is nominated. Please, Please, Please by Sabrina Carpenter is nominated. Texas Hold'em is also nominated. And I like Texas Hold'em, y'all, but Texas Hold'em ain't gonna win. Not in these categories. Here's the thing, too, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I don't understand why Jay-Z or Beyonce even care at this point in their career. Beyonce is the most decorated artist of all time at this particular point, okay? She has the most Grammys. Who cares? I mean, I guess in her ego mind, she's like, I want album of the year, but the audience has already said, girl, you deserved it for Lemonade, you deserved it for Renaissance, not for Cowboy Carter. All right. I did want to say this, though. There's I want to say congratulations to Ariana Grande, Brandy, and Monica. Some people said that Ariana Grande didn't get all the nominations that she should have gotten for her album. The album was good, but come on. So the Boy Is Mine remix featuring Monica and Brandy is also nominated. And you know the only Grammy that Brandy and Monica have is their collaboration, The Boy Is Mine. I know, Brandy and Monica deserved a lot more Grammys, but the Grammys, political. But I thought they may have had this one in the bag. Then I saw Die With a Smile with Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. I think they might get it. But it would be kind of kismet if Brandy and Monica get their second Grammy for The Boy Is Mine again, the remix. Wouldn't that be incredible? I don't think they're going to. Because, look, let's be honest. Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga are Grammy darlings. And the song is good. And honestly, The Boy Is Mine remix didn't move like The Boy Is Mine, the original. Again, the remix is nothing to do with the original Boy Is Mine. But I will say that I feel like Lady Gaga and Bruno are gonna win that one. I do. I mean, look, but you never know. All right. If you want to see the full Grammy nominations, head on over to Grammys.com, or you can see it over at our friends over at ustoday.com. All right. What else did I want to say before we get into all the other stuff? Oh, I have some light news first. Before we get into the Diddy of it all, I need to lighten the mood before we get to the darkness of Diddy. We haven't talked about Diddy in a while. Maybe like once this week, which is rare, since he was arrested like almost 2 months ago. He spent his birthday in jail. Okay, we'll get to them in a second. Before we get to it, did you guys see... I've started watching House of Villains. I started last season, and then I just couldn't keep up with it. I started watching it again this season. I've been behind the last couple of episodes, but I see everyone reacting to New York fighting Real Housewives of New Jersey star Teresa Giudice. Okay? And everyone is reporting as if what Tiffany Pollard said was true in regards to Louis Ruelas cheating on Teresa. Okay, let me play the clip for you. And then we're going to get into Diddy. Welcome to New York, New Jersey. Here's the thing. I find it so funny that this has become like this big story as if Louis Ruelas, like the truth of Louis Ruelas from Real Housewives of New Jersey, Teresa's husband, isn't worse. Tiffany New York Pollard is reality TV. She knows what she's doing. Claudia Jordan, I think, in a past interview, talked about how New York turns it on when the camera is on. She's not serious. New York doesn't know anything about Louis. She probably doesn't even watch New Jersey like that. She just said that to say that. We know that, but I find it so funny that this has really become a story that people are like, oh my God, is Louis cheating on Teresa? I think we should be more concerned. Is Louis spending all Teresa's money, and why is Teresa having to work when she could just be sitting at home if he's so rich? But anyways, I say all that to say, I truly enjoy Tiffany Pollard. Where is Celebrity Big Brother? And the reason why she's even on House of Villains is because we didn't get another Celebrity Big Brother. I don't care. Whatever we have to do to bring Celebrity Big Brother back here in the States, we need to make sure that Tiffany's on it, because some of her most legendary moments that I still watch on YouTube is when she was on Celebrity Big Brother UK. She is TV gold. She has always been TV gold. She is one of the queens of reality television. There's Nene and then there's Tiffany, okay? I'm not trying to even, put them against each other. I'm just saying those are the queens of reality television. Can you imagine Nene and Tiffany Pollard on the same season of Celebrity Big Brother? That's the only thing about House of Villains I can't get with. It's not well produced for me, but because you have personalities like Tiffany that you're like, oh, I'm interested. I'm definitely want to know. I want to see how the season plays out. So for me, she's the only really reason to watch. But okay. But okay, I saw this and I said, okay, we're going to lighten the mood before we give you your Diddy update, okay? So I'm going to give you your Diddy update. I think I've vamped enough. Enough. Look, sorry. All right. All right, Diddy. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, where do I begin with Diddy? So, as you know, we've been covering this Diddy situation. If you missed any of our Diddy updates, you can find them all on our YouTube channel. Okay, for those that are watching on TikTok, Twitch, or Twitter, and you're like, Kempire, I haven't seen all of your Diddy updates. All of them are available on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. Okay? So, let me give you another update. So, Diddy's mama, okay? Yes, Janice Combs. As you know, Janice Combs came out with her own statement defending her son not too long ago, all right? And she says the way that her son is being painted in the media is not true, okay? Janice showed up to court, to one of his bail hearings, looking like this with the curls. I said, what in the Foxy Brown is going on? What is going on? Okay. I mean, I have to give it to Diddy. He's got some beautiful kids. Look at his daughter Chance back there. Gorgeous. But Janice Combs went into court looking like she ready to, I'm going to break my son out. I'm going to break my son out. Sorry. I had to, okay? So there's a new lawsuit claiming that Diddy, and look, if you've been following my Diddy updates, I've told you, I find it interesting that Diddy in his NDAs and things like that always mentions you can't say a disparaging thing about my mother. That was one of the things that Aubrey O'Day came out with. Remember that? When she revealed that the reason why she wasn't going to take her publishing back because she had to sign an NDA to Diddy, and it included you can't talk about Janice Combs, you can't talk about this one or that one. We also, the other day when we went live, we read one of the NDAs from Diddy's, parties. We read through that where you're not allowed to mention his family and basically for like the next 70 years or until his death, then add 20 years to that. Okay. So, according to the Daily Mail, Sean Diddy Combs used his mother's name to allegedly form a criminal enterprise to hide money and other business deals, according to a former friend who worked with the disgraced bad boy mogul. Dion D1 Best appeared on DailyMail.com's podcast, The Trial of Diddy, where he claims that Combs used his mother Janice's name to hide artist publishing rights, including deals Best said he brokered in the late 1990s. Best claims his company, Finish Line Entertainment, signed artists to Diddy who worked on various albums for Bad Boy, including Christopher Notorious B.I.G. Wallace's 1999 Born Again, which reached platinum status and sold over 1 million copies. Best, who's 56 years old, said the way that Combs allegedly organized his business deals not only took publishing rights from him and the artists who worked on the songs, but built them out of future earnings. Sidebar. This is why I always find it interesting when people love to tout Diddy as this amazing guy. He created all of this, wealth for himself and blah, blah, blah. He has been marred with accusations from artists for years that he's stolen from them. That has followed Diddy for years. For years. Okay. So, and honestly, this story is kind of refreshing because it's not about Diddy and the freak off tapes and all those things. It's just back to the business of things that we can confirm from over the years that Diddy has been accused of. So Best told Daily Mail, all of my publishing rights went to Janice Combs. Remember, in Diddy's bail appeal, he said that he would give up his mother's home as well, along with her passport. And we were like, and remember, Stephanie St. Aubin, allegedly Stephanie stopped by and she said she found that to be interesting that he was giving up his mother's passport because she's a grown adult, unless she's under his care. So he says all of my publishing rights went to Janice Combs. He says, I'm here to talk about a different section of his allegations. And what I feel to believe involves his mother, Janice Combs. The Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act is about holding people accountable for systematic actions. So he's accusing Janice Combs. He added, these actions have caused financial hardship, emotional hardship, but not only myself, but others in the business through what I feel was fraudulent and coercive activity. And I think that Janice Combs falls under those guidelines. Best told DailyMail.com he plans to sue Janice Combs and her company because the Bad Boy deals were signed to her name. Sidebar. Thank you, Special K, for gifting membership. Sidebar. Remember when Fem Tarot and I collaborated on a tarot reading in regards to Diddy? This has nothing to do with tarot. She mentioned, though, because you remember she had a history of working in cruises and things like that. Her company at the time, or a company she worked with at the time, she said, worked with Janice Combs, and Janice was a nightmare, allegedly, to work with behind the scenes, but she was the one basically coordinating the entire cruise thing, yacht thing that they were going to be doing with Diddy. So she had worked closely with Janice at the time. Just want to tie that in there just to say that Janice Combs was just sitting at home as a doting mother, allegedly. Okay? So he says that he plans to sue Janice Combs and her company because the Bad Boy deals were signed to her name. Meanwhile, Diddy remains at a Brooklyn jail and is facing multiple federal charges, including trafficking and racketeering charges. His attorneys have declined to comment on Best's allegations. DailyMail.com also reached out to Janice Combs' attorney for comment. Best also alleged that Combs did the same thing with songs his company created over albums, including rapper Black Rob's 2000 album Life Story and Combs' Forever, which also hit platinum status after it was released in 1999. While historically it was not uncommon for record label owners or record labels to take a percentage of the artist's publishing as a part of their signing deal, artists have since pushed back because of the potential future earnings their songs could garner. Other artists who worked with Combs, including Mark Curry, have alleged that Diddy was able to circumvent certain deals because he allegedly used Janice Combs to seal the deals. In a viral 2020 rant, rapper Mason Betha claimed Diddy also took his publishing rights away, saying, "How dare this N-word talking about he wants receipts," Mace said of Combs in the clip. "Let's start with your mother, N-word. Your mother's got the receipts, N-word. Everything is in your mother's name. That's the one who's got the receipts, N-word." Look. The receipts are receipting right now. Oh my gosh. But you know, if you've been following the channel, I've been saying to you, I said there's something there when it comes to Janice Combs. She must be involved in the business in some shape or form. And mind you, it could be just her name being used as a way to disconnect himself. So Best, who left gang life and has turned to religion and now coaches youth sports, said that he became friends with Combs and Notorious B.I.G. after they met at parties in L.A. that were frequented by Hollywood A-listers. Best said the Bad Boy producer would call him for protection and check in to see if it was safe for him to be in certain areas of L.A. We can't forget about the East Coast, West Coast beef. Like, this was real. We've heard that this was happening back in the day, allegedly. So it was also at this point that Death Row Suge Knight, who hails from Compton, had allegedly threatened Combs, Best claims. "So, you know, by this being my hometown, I knew how to maneuver through the community, through the streets," Best said. "Let's just say everybody was aware that Suge Knight and Puffy had a situation. Suge is a big guy. I'm not a big guy, but I had the type of relationship with Suge that I could say, you know, Suge, ease up. And you know he would respect the situation." As Combs and his artists came to LA to work on music or to party, he became close to Wallace, who was more calm than arrogant Combs, Best said. He claims that he was with Wallace the night he was killed during a drive-by shooting on March 9th, 1997, just outside the Peterson Automotive Museum, where Vibes Magazine's Soul Train Music Awards after party was held. Best said that he had warned Wallace that week to keep close to him while he was in LA. On that particular night, Best said that Wallace and him were briefly separated as they were leaving the party. The next thing he heard were the fatal pow pow pows that would ultimately kill Notorious B.I.G. He says, I never understood how he wasn't with me when we exited through the door, Beth said. I think more about it today. I felt like somebody literally lured him away from me, pulled him away, and said, let's go this way. He continued, I tried to explain to him, man, you can't just be moving around by yourself. Beth said that he believes Biggie, who was Bad Boy's most lucrative artist, was looking to leave the label and Combs right before his death. That has been a popular rumor as well. Okay. Beth said that he was not surprised that the former mogul is facing possible life sentence if he's convicted on all charges. He added, watching the now viral video of Combs attacking his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in 2016 at a hotel in Los Angeles angered him. The video of Cassie broke my heart, Beth said. I have 2 daughters, a mother, sisters. It's like, wow, you can kick on Cassie, but you don't want to stand up to Suge? Well, that's how it usually is with these punk motherfathers. All right, before we get into the next Diddy update in regards to his bail and apparently, quote, new evidence, don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience. If you enjoy content like this, we can talk that real talk when I get to LA. Yes, I'm coming to Los Angeles in just less than 2 weeks. I will be in Los Angeles for the Kempire After Dark live experience. Have you gotten your tickets? We'll be at the Bourbon Room on November 20th. Go get your tickets today if you haven't already. Then we're coming to London December 8th. Go get your tickets. We'll be at Neon 194. And then we're coming back to Washington, D.C. on January 24th, 2025. Yes, inauguration week. Oh, damn. Gotta laugh. Anyways, I will be your break from the madness, all right? So if you're in Washington, D.C., get your tickets today. More information on the Kempire After Dark live experience coming to Los Angeles, London, and Washington, D.C. Go get your tickets. All that information will be available in the description. All right. So Diddy, as you know, has been trying to get bail and get out of jail, out of the Brooklyn Detention Center, the Metropolitan Detention Center, for the last couple of months. It's going on almost 3 months. Right? Almost 3 months? No, it'll be 2 months almost that he's been in this detention center. The feds do not want him released. They believe that he's a flight risk, even though he said he's trying to sell his private jet. They also believe that he will coerce victims, all right? Like Kalena Harper, because they cite Kalena Harper in their court docs that Kalena Harper received 54 texts from Diddy in a span of 4 days. So they believe that he's going to do the same to other victims. Okay? All right. So now Diddy, apparently, according to the Associated Press, has new information. So this is what the Associated Press is saying. They're saying Sean Diddy Combs filed a new request for bail today, saying changed circumstances along with new evidence mean the hip-hop mogul should be allowed to prepare for a May trial from outside jail. You may recall Diddy's trial is set for Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, Cinco de Mayo, May 5th of next year. Lawyers for Combs filed a request in Manhattan Federal Court where his previous request for bail had been rejected by 2 judges since September's arrest on racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. He has pled not guilty to the charges that he coerced and abused women for years with help from a network of associates and employees while silencing victims through blackmail and evidence, including kidnapping, arson, and physical beating. He has been waiting a May 5th trial at a federal detention facility in Brooklyn. In their new court filings, lawyers for Combs says that they are proposing a, quote, far more robust bail package that would subject the entertainer to strict around-the-clock security monitoring and near total restrictions on his ability to contact anyone but his lawyers. But the amount of money they attach to the package remains at $50 million, as they proposed before. They also cite new evidence that they say, quote, makes clear that the government's case is thin. That evidence, the lawyer said, refutes the government's claims that a March 2016 video showing Combs physically assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, occurred during a coerced, quote, freak-off, a sexually driven event described in the indictment against Combs. They said they wrote that the encounter was instead a minutes-long glimpse into a complex but decade-long consensual relationship between Combs and his then-girlfriend. The lawyers argued that the jail conditions Combs is experiencing at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn violate his constitutional rights to participate in his defense. A spokesperson for prosecutors declined to comment. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Okay. Allison says that Diddy needs to be where he is, jail. Okay. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. I want to pull up the court document from this proceeding earlier today. Let me just pull that up very quickly. Hold on one second. Okay, hold on. Here it is. Okay. So you may recall, not only did Diddy mention that he was going to give a $50 million bond, which included his Miami home. He also included his mother, Janice Combs' home as well. He also gave up his mother's passport and his daughter's passport. None of his sons, who were recently trying to fight Ray J, allegedly. I don't have to say allegedly, because I think they've all confirmed it, except the boys. We'll say allegedly, though. Okay? So the defense proposes the following updated bail package, which will assuage any concerns of danger and obstruction and will ensure Mr. Combs' appearance in court. The $50 million bond, co-signed by Mr. Combs, his mother, his sister. Remember we talked about the sister? I don't remember where we talked about the sister, but we talked about his sister before. The mother of his oldest daughter, okay? The mother of his oldest daughter is Chance? I guess Chance is considered maybe the oldest only by who knows? Because remember, they were pregnant. Kim Porter and Chance's mother were pregnant at the same time. His oldest daughter. So the mother of his oldest daughter, the mother of his youngest daughter, remember the new baby, Love, his new baby, and his 3 adult sons. This is going to be co-signed by them. Okay? Secured by the equity in Mr. Combs' residence located in Miami, Florida, and an unencumbered property appraised at about $48 million. Sidebar, apparently they're trying to sell Diddy's LA home as well, and nobody wants to buy it because Diddy and possibly the underground tunnels, allegedly, that lead to the Playboy Mansion, allegedly. Further secured by an equity of Mr. Combs' mother's Miami, Florida home. Full home detention at his residence in Miami or at a suitable location in New York with GPS monitoring. Here's the problem with that. Diddy has gotten away with so much. I get why they do not want him out. They can control him in the detention center. If he's out, he has too many connections to powerful people. We have to remember, we have not seen any of this video footage. We don't know who's on this video footage. For all we know, there are powerful people on this footage that owe Diddy favors. So the minute that he's released, all he needs to do is ask one of them for those favors, and he probably would disappear. He probably would disappear. So they said full home detention at his residence, Miami, or at a suitable location in New York with GPS monitoring. Counsel will travel to this location for any in-person meetings with Mr. Combs or have counsel meetings via video. To the extent Mr. Combs' travel is necessary to attend court or pre-approved medical appointments, his travel will be restricted to the Southern and Eastern districts of New York and Southern District of Florida. Mr. Combs must pay all or part of the cost of the location monitoring. 24/7 monitoring by qualified security personnel approved by the government and pretrial services. Again, all these people could be bought and paid. The same people that have been bought and paid that have allowed Diddy to get away with this behavior for the last 30 years. So number 4, they said Mr. Combs will have no access to telephones or the internet except for during calls with counsel to be arranged by security personnel. restrict all visitors except for counsel and a pre-approved list only consisting of specific family members with the consent of pretrial services and the government. Family visits will be scheduled only with pretrial services prior approval. Security personnel will monitor family visits. Number 6, Mr. Combs shall avoid all contact directly or indirectly with any person who is or may be a victim or witness in the investigation or prosecution. Mr. Combs will consent to provide pretrial services random access to the residence. Mr. Combs' passport was surrendered to his counsel on April 1st of 2024, which counsel will provide to pretrial services. So his passport wasn't surrendered to the government, which I find to be interesting. The following members have also already surrendered their passports to counsel, which will provide them to pretrial services, which include Janice Combs, his mother, Chance Combs, his daughter, Jesse Combs, and Delilah Combs, his other daughter. I thought they also offered Love Combs' passport, the little girl, but maybe she doesn't have a passport because she's a baby. Number 9, it says counsel will continue efforts to sell Mr. Combs' airplane. So they still have not sold this airplane because the feds believe that he's also a flight risk. Okay. And sidebar, that fight with Diddy's boys and Ray J, I'm surprised. I haven't seen the government side of this in regards to their response to this bail appeal. Maybe we'll see that, and I'll do that in another video. But I wonder if they're going to mention your kids are doing the most, and they are reminding us that they could do your dirty work on the outside. People Magazine, in an exclusive a couple of weeks ago, we reported on this, said that even with Diddy in jail, he's still influential and still can do exactly what he was doing on the inside of jail still. So they said counsel will continue efforts to sell Mr. Combs' airplane. And number 10, they said that the defendant shall submit to testing for prohibited substance if required by the Pretrial Services Office or supervising officer. Testing may be used with random frequency and may include urine testing, the wearing of a sweat patch. Really? What is that? A remote alcohol testing system and or any form of prohibited substance screening or testing. That is interesting. I mean, look, I think we all discovered that Diddy had a problem when it comes to substances. And a lot of people were saying that he was going through withdrawal while being inside. And allegedly, when he was picked up by the feds from that New York hotel, they said that they found that pink powder, the same pink powder they said they found in Liam Payne's system. They found that in his hotel. I think it's just best for you, Diddy, that you stay inside. I think it's just best for you to stay inside the detention center. I think it's best for all of us. All of us. Okay, hibiscus. That's what I was figuring, but I was like, I'd never seen that before. A sweat patch. In regards to testing. Wow. All kinds of new stuff that they got out there. All right. Hey, Tech Diva. Tech Diva said, Tech Diva for cybersecurity. I love that. A sweat patch. Notice says Quincy is just as bad as the rest. Diddy controls them, and they have no choice but to publicly support them. Well, that was one of the other things. As you know, earlier this week, it was Diddy's birthday. I'd say happy birthday, but no. Happy birthday to anyone else that celebrates a birthday and shares that same day with him. Okay, happy Scorpio season. So we saw recently they went on social media, Quincy, all of Diddy's kids, went on social media, okay? Oh God, Michelle, I gotta save this tweet, this comment that you said, because I didn't even think about that. So the kids went on social media. They've gone on social media a couple of times to show support for Diddy. So they went on social media to wish Diddy a happy birthday. Here's the thing. All of that could have been done, but not shared on social media. But they're doing this specifically because Diddy's attorneys, very much like Diddy, is trying to play this whole case out in front of public opinion, the court of public opinion. And he needs to be focused on fighting this within the courts and not public opinion. The people on the outside can't help you, Diddy. there is no one going to the court right now. God, I hope not. Going to the court right now saying free Diddy. Okay. However, if you've been following our reports, apparently there is on TikTok a free Diddy hashtag that has over like 12,000 people using it. So look, there are people still saying free R. Kelly, but R. Kelly is still locked up and they won't let him out. Okay. Just saying. So Diddy is trying everything that he can. They're saying that they have new evidence to prove that the Fed's case against Diddy is thin. I'm going to play devil's advocate. A lot of people will say these freak-offs that Diddy's being accused of abusing women, these multiple civil lawsuits are now saying that children were involved, men were involved. Cassie's lawsuit did say that there were male S workers involved. Just want to point that out. He settled that lawsuit in less than 24 hours when she dropped that. There are tons of lawsuits against Diddy that... Let me take a sip. I've been talking a lot. There's just a lot of damning information against Diddy. There's just a lot of damning information. And I want to point out what this person says. Michelle says, there is speculation that Trump will free Diddy. Did anyone interpret his pizza and plastic request? There's tons of references as to what he's saying, and it's about minors. Who knows? Who knows? I don't think that Diddy's on the top of Trump's mind right now. He's got other people that he wants to free. Okay. But we're going to continue to follow the story. Look, like I said before, I feel as if there has been low information in regards to Diddy this week. We're waiting to hear what if they were going to approve a third attempt from Diddy in regards to get free. However, he's apparently has new information. One of the things I'm going to say, though, in regards to the civil lawsuits and the Fed case, people are speculating that do the feds really have any information? How do you determine that these adults did not consent? Again, we haven't seen any of these videos. We haven't seen any of the footage. Sidebar, the other day when we were live last week, we reported to you that Courtney Burgess, remember Courtney Burgess, who recently spoke to the grand jury? He claims that he has possession of multiple Diddy freak-off tapes. Diddy's attorneys want a gag order to shut him up. I didn't even see a follow-up in regards to that. I don't know if that hasn't even been decided on just yet. But you remember the other day he did multiple interviews. He did interviews with TMZ in the street. Remember this? Hold on.
Have the feds been in contact with you? I did watch your YouTube interview. I saw as of 2 weeks ago they haven't been in contact with you. What about today?
Yes.
So they have been in contact with you. Is that why you're here today?
Yes.
Okay.
Homeland Security.
Oh, wow. So were you surprised, or was that the call that you were kind of waiting for?
Surprise.
Oh. Do you feel like the interview had anything to do with it, or?
Yes.
Yeah. How do you know Sean Combs?
Generation. You know, Frank Lucas was my godfather and his father, and then we both was in the music business for 30 years together.
So you personally know him?
Not who? No, who personally?
Sean Combs.
Not
Diddy.
personally.
But you know of him. He knows
I know
of you.
Yeah. I used to be in Tupac, Hussein Fatal. He stopped a lot of my music. A lot of other people who didn't care about him. You understand? It's not around today.
Right. So
Stewart from Def Jam Records.
Mm-hmm. You made a lot of allegations, right? Are you expected to eventually turn those things over, or?
Well, that's what we're going to head over to do now. So we have a hearing now to determine what we're going to do in terms of what documents we'll have to turn over and what documents we do not.
So why were you in court today?
Just to give testimony to the grand jury. He was subpoenaed by the court. So as we all know, if you don't answer a subpoena, the marshals will come to your house as they came to his house, and they will bring you here. So that's why we're here today.
I know you can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview. So just to clarify, you can back that up with actual factual footage.
We have, it's things that we have, but we got to go to the other courthouse. So I don't know if that's any more questions, but we kind of got another hearing to go.
Are you nervous or do you feel cool?
God, I ain't never nervous. Only thing that's fair to me is God.
Because my next guest just testified before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter. And if you follow this story, you'll know that Kim Porter is Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his kids. On those drives, the witness says 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake. Courtney Burgess told his story on a podcast before he told the grand jury today, and after he told the grand jury, and I mean immediately after, he booked it over to my set, and he and his attorney talked to me. I should tell you that he was very limited in how much detail he could go into about his testimony. And because the 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos were allegedly victims of sex crimes, we know who they are, but we will not be naming them, famous or not. Here now is my conversation with Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell, who's his attorney, beginning with the question of whether the participants in the video even knew they were being recorded. Were there any cameras in places where you'd assume privacy, like bathrooms?
Yeah, well, I've never been in this house, but the picture, yes. That's where it took place, yes.
You're aware of surreptitious cameras that were recording in private places like bathrooms?
I didn't see the cameras. You could tell how the person was angled. I knew that it was a camera there because I was there, I wasn't there. I don't know if the person was too tall, he was holding it or whatever, but I wasn't there.
May I ask you this, Courtney? And Ariel, you can jump in on this as well, but I want to hear from Courtney first. Your home was raided by federal authorities, and I assume it is because of this material. Is that true?
I wouldn't say that. They just went to every one of them looking for me. They said, the paperwork said the 24th, that I had to be there the 28th, and then it was the 27th. I said, I can't make it there, that's tomorrow. So I don't know. From the look of it, it was 4 days.
And I want to be specific. When we talk about a raid, we're talking about when a subpoena is served for documents, a search warrant or an arrest warrant. In this situation, Mr. Burgess was not in any way, shape, or form had a search warrant or an arrest warrant issued for him. It was just them serving a subpoena. So when the federal government needs to serve a subpoena, they use the Marshal Service to come to all of your residences if you have more than one residence. So in this situation, they sent marshals to all of Mr. Burgess's residences, and that was somehow construed or understood or turned into a raid, but he did not face a raid. It was just to serve him the subpoena.
Ariel, do you believe that the subpoenas were issued and executed based on the federal authorities' knowledge that these flash drives existed and had this kind of compromising material?
I think it was based on statements that Mr. Burgess made in a prior interview.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appeared to
Let
be.
me rephrase it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities, who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appeared to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized,
Yeah,
meaning
victim.
this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
2 to 3. Also on the flash drives, Courtney, was what looked to be a manuscript written by, it appears to be a woman who had taken Kim Porter's private journals and had written a book. Is that accurate?
We don't know.
I
we don't know how. Yeah.
I don't know how, who wrote it, put it together, but it was from her when I spoke to her.
What you received on the flash drives, was it the completed book or was it notes from Kim Porter that later were made into a book?
It was completed. It's only 60,
Okay.
only about 54 pages. It was.
Sure, and in the beginning, it says, Kim made me promise that if something happened to her, I would make sure this book became public to the world. The way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print. So it sounds like it is a woman who wrote up the notes from Kim Porter. Does that sound accurate?
It's how you read it, yes. I haven't even read the book.
Do you know who the woman is?
No.
And to be clear, he received it in its complete form. So I think just to make sure we have some clarity here, the manuscript that Mr. Burgess received was already in its complete form. It's not that he edited it or changed anything.
Got it.
He did give it to someone
Makes
else
sense.
who then edited it, but that's not how he received it.
Okay, so Ariel, did your client, Courtney, receive the book from the woman who seems to have written it, saying, I'm a woman of my word, and this book is going to make it to print?
I don't know if he received it from a man or a woman. He can answer that.
I received it from a man. I tell you, somebody she was dating.
Do you know if the notes from the book really were from Kim Porter?
It was, yes, because I spoke to her probably like 6 hours before I got it, received it.
You spoke to Kim Porter?
Yes.
So Kim Porter.
Just saying hi.
Okay.
Just saying hi.
Okay, Ariel, go ahead and give me clarity on the timeline.
No, I'm trying to get him to provide clarity of, was there a conversation with
No,
her?
I was
or
talking to the person, and he said, hold up, this is Courtney, be right here. Let me say something to him. He said, I know him, put me on speaker. Then that's how we end up speaking.
And then later, somebody brought somebody else came and brought you the manuscript.
Right. Before I left ATL.
To the best of your knowledge, Courtney, do you believe that the manuscript is truly based on Kim Porter's diaries? Because there is a lot of dialogue in there. It is pages and pages of actual dialogue, which, I mean, I can't remember breakfast today, let alone dialogue from 5, 10, 15, and 20 years ago.
I guess this is a woman's scar. You understand? Maybe, what she been through. It's, I'm not a woman, so I'm just going by how I got female friends and relatives. They always come to the house scoring because what went on in their relationship. And you can't, when you're scoring, you can't forget it.
Important.
So we played that last week, but it was worth playing again because we did have an update since then that I wanted to tell you guys about, because supposedly Kim Porter's good girlfriend, one of her best friends, came out and said that there is no manuscript. She said this before. She's saying it again. Our friends over at Yahoo wrote this, that a close friend of the late Kim Porter has spoken out after another person alleges to have her unedited words. As you know, Courtney Burgess, a grand jury witness in the criminal trial against Sean Diddy Combs, asserts he has possession of Porter's writings on a flash drive. Porter's associate has now dismissed the claim after another publisher attempted to publish a separate book earlier this year. According to TMZ, both versions of the alleged memoir are fake, not just the already released version. LaWanda Lane, Kim Porter's best friend for decades, tells the tabloid that the former model never documented her world in a journal or a diary. Their 30-year friendship included living together for 20. And she says that Porter's family have never heard of Burgess, although he claims he and Porter were associates. He hasn't really claimed that. He's a little murky in regards to how he's connected. I've told you already, I don't believe there is a real connection. I just feel like he is the only willing party to do the interviews and speak to the grand jury. I feel like he's just the middleman. They needed a middleman to get this information out there. I don't know what they're trying to do with this information. I don't know if they're trying to distract from the real story or trying to just to get it out there, but they don't want to be the ones. The person that really has the information doesn't want to be the ones, because he claims to have freak-off tapes and the real Kim Porter memoir. Okay? After testifying, Burgess and his lawyer, the shakedown attorney, Ariel Mitchell, shared that he is in possession of multiple items that could be used as evidence in Combs' trial, including thumb drives, hard drives, electronic storage devices, or devices containing videos and or other files, and an unedited copy of Porter's purported memoir. Nobody's altered it or nothing, described Burgess, of what he claimed to Porter's reflections. He and his attorney agreed with Porter's family that the memoir released earlier this year was not authentic. However, their reasoning was that the work titled Kim's Lost Words was edited. Porter's family and friends outright deny that she had written anything. Kim's Lost Words, published by Chris Todd, has been removed from Amazon, but not before it reached the number one spot on the retailer's bestseller list. The 60-page book describes the alleged physical abuse Porter experienced at the hands of Combs, an alleged open relationship and threesomes with other famous couples, and claims that Combs engaged in sexual activities with young boys. Claims that our mom wrote a book are simply not true. She did not, and anyone claiming to have a manuscript misrepresenting themselves shared in a joint statement from Porter's children after the now-removed memoir was released. Please understand that any so-called, quote, friend speaking on behalf of our mom or her family is not a friend, nor do they have her best interest at heart. As you know, Kim Porter tragically passed back in 2018 at the age of 47 years old. Her cause of death was officially listed as a natural death attributed to lobar pneumonia. I'm going to play another clip for you in regards to Ariel Mitchell, the shakedown attorney, okay, that says what they plan to do with this book. This is what she told TMZ, okay? Let me see. Hold on.
I know you did mention what was on the flash drive before. Would you be able to kind of go over that now, or is that something that you can't discuss?
No, we're trying to discuss that now, what we will be able to talk to in terms of what was available and what was on those flash drives.
Okay.
But it was the book,
So it is Kim Porter's book, but not necessarily some of the stuff with the celebs that were mentioned besides.
It's hers. Nobody touched it.
Oh, so it is her official book.
Yes. Nobody.
And no one touched it.
Nobody altered it. Nothing.
So it's not the copy that the gentleman said that he was selling before. No.
No.
it's two different copies. That one was edited, and we have the original copy.
So you're saying that the other copy was an actual real copy, even though the family said it wasn't?
It was a derivative work.
It was edited. The only way the family say that is because I forgot his name. Albie Short.
Yeah.
Yeah. And besides that, how they know? A lot of stuff their mother did, they didn't know. And I'd like to say apologize to the mother and the family for the picture being on front of it.
Right.
You understand? I didn't put it there.
Right.
So You know, they got to worry about bigger things
Right.
than what her diary was. You understand?
Right.
They should have started worrying when he was beating her.
Right.
When you start worrying about your mother after the fact.
Right. So, the book. Do you think it'll ever like be open to the public or after this or?
That'll be the next thing. I've been contracted to go to Amazon and work out whatever legalities that may have existed prior so that we can republish the book.
Wow, so the public will get to see her actual words and thoughts.
So very soon, the actual unedited version. We'll be putting that out soon.
So I'm wondering, do you own the rights, I guess, or how does that work?
I guess the own rights was given to me, right?
I say possession is nonsense for the law. So.
Now she knows the law. Look, this situation, I already said, this whole situation with Courtney Burgess, that interview he did with News Nation, the shakedown attorney, I am just very concerned for her bar license. I'm also concerned for his own safety. But like I said, I don't believe that he really had any connection to this story besides being in the industry back then. I think he is just the only willing party to come forward and say, oh, I have the tapes. I think he has already said the tapes were given to him. All right. So we shall see. He did testify to the grand jury. I did see one of you say this. I haven't seen this myself, but Queenie says that Courtney Burgess has been called back to the grand jury on November 11th or 12th. So that's next week. Stay tuned. I'm sure you're going to see another Diddy update at some particular point, but I wanted to get you updated. So Janice Combs is facing her own lawsuit because this person is claiming that Janice was used and her company was used to misrepresent themselves in regards to Diddy and his business dealings from back in the day. So that's a completely separate situation. It's not talking about the freak off tapes. They're talking about Diddy and his alleged shady business moves from back in the day, Xing people out of millions. And now we also have this other update in regards to Diddy's bail. He's upped the ante when it comes to what he's willing to offer the government in order for him to be released so that he can prepare for his trial in May. And he's saying that the case that the feds have against him is not strong. It's not strong enough. We shall see. We shall see. According to reports, the new attorneys that Diddy has placed in his cipher of attorneys are really good. Appellate attorney. I forgot what the other attorney is really good at as well. And I'm not talking about his original attorney that's done multiple media interviews, including the Tubi documentary, Mark Agnafilo. I'm not talking about him. They've added 2 additional attorneys since then. And I'm sure they're working with a bunch of other attorneys that work under those law firms. So that is your update, guys. That is your update. I appreciate you all taking time out of your Friday evening to be here for another Diddy update, including some mix of hot topics as well. I will see you all in the next one. Shout out to our King's Guard. Shout out to our channel members. Shout out to those of you that gifted memberships. We appreciate the support. Become a member today at TheKempire.com/join. We still need to do our own members only live, so stay tuned for that. And I will see you all in the next one. Be sure to check out the recap that we did earlier today for the Real Housewives of Orange County and a podcast episode that we did in regards to the election. So make sure you subscribe to the Kempire podcast today. And don't forget to come to the Los Angeles Kempire After Dark live experience. Yes, we're coming to LA in just 2 weeks, November 20th at the Bourbon Room. Then we'll be in London. Go get your tickets for the London show. That will be December 8th. And then we will be back in Washington, D.C. on January 24th. More information on all of that and everything Kempire will be available in the description. Thank you all for being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. See you all later. Jasmine, no, I have not watched the Chris Brown documentary. I completely forgot that it came out. Probably lucky for him, right? Well, I'll catch up over the weekend. Someone says she looks like Cookie Lyons from Janice Combs looks like Cookie Lyons. Come on. I mean, you ain't told one lie when I look at this picture of Janice Combs coming out of court for Diddy. Lord have mercy. That dude look like Cookie Lyons. Y'all ain't right. Goodbye, y'all. Everyone have a fantastic Friday evening. I have another meeting to go to. Look, Sorry. I wish I could stay a little bit longer, but I got meetings on a Friday night. Booked and busy. Appreciate it. Bye, y'all. Do 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 do.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire.